Hello, my name is Jennifer Skinner, and today I'm going to be talking about measurement division. So let's get started with our first problem. So Jenny wants to buy a blueberry pie that costs $3. How much of a pie can she buy for 50 cents? So we see that a whole pie costs $3, but Jenny only has 50 cents. So let's start by dividing the pie into thirds. See that 1/3 would equal $1. 2/3, the total of that would equal $2, and 3/3, the total would be $3. So we know that each third would be equal to $1. However, Jenny only has 50 cents. So let's continue to divide the pie into 6 to see how much that would be. So if we divide this blueberry pie into 6, we see that each 6 equals 50 cents. So if we have 6 6, that is equal to 1 whole. And we see each 6 is equal to 50 cents. And Jenny has 50 cents. Therefore, Jenny will be able to purchase 1/6 of a blueberry pie. Now let's look at this same problem using a number sentence. So our first step is to write out our problem, which is 1/2 divided by 3. Our second step is to change 3 into a fraction, which would be 1/2 divided by 3/1. 3/1 is also considered an improper fraction. Our third step is to change our improper fraction and inverse it. The way we divide fractions is through inverse multiplication. Therefore, after we invert our fraction, we multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is equal to 1, and 3 times 2 is equal to 6, making 1/6. Our fourth step is to set up the problem how it was written originally, which would be 1/2 divided by 3, and we see our answer is 1/6. Now let's look at this same problem using pattern blocks. So we know our yellow octagon is equal to 1 and is also equal to $3. The yellow octagon is representing our blueberry pie that costs $3. Our diamond is equal to 1/3, or $1, and our triangle is equal to 1/6, or 50 cents. So we see if we divide our octagon into thirds, each piece would be 1/3, and each piece would equal $1. If we continue to divide our pie into 6, we see that 1/6 would equal 50 cents, and there are 6 6 that fit into 1 whole. Now let's move on to our second problem. A piece of candy costs 33 cents. How many pieces of candy can Jenny buy for $2? So we see our first piece of candy equals 33 cents. If we add another piece of candy, our total would be 66 cents. Continuing on, adding a third piece of candy, we come to a total of 99 cents. Fourth piece of candy, our total would be $1.32. Fifth piece of candy, $1.65. And if we add 6 pieces of candy, our total cost would be $1.98. Now we see that Jenny has $2, but a piece of candy costs 33 cents. If our total is at $1.98, if we added 33 more cents, we would be over our $2. Therefore, we know that Jenny can buy 6 pieces of candy. When we look at this problem in a number sentence, our first step is to write out the problem, which would be 2 divided by 1/3. Our next step would be to write our 2 as an improper fraction, which would be 2/1 divided by 1/3. As we learned in the previous problem, when we are dividing fractions, we invert and multiply. Therefore, we would write our problem as 2/1, and we would invert our 1/3 into 3/1 and multiply straight across. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 times 1 is 1, resulting in a fraction of 6/1. Our fourth step would be to write the original problem out, which would be 2 divided by 1/3. which is equal to 6 over 1, which is an improper fraction. And let's change that into a mixed number, which would be equal to 6. Let's look at this same problem using pattern blocks. So we have our two octagons, which is equal to 2 or $2, and our diamond, which is equal to 1/3 or 33 cents. So when we break apart our octagons, we see that 6 1/3 will fit into 2 octagons, meaning that we can have 6 as our final answer. Let's look at our third and final problem. Candy costs 33 cents at the grocery store. How many pounds of candy can Jenny buy for 50 cents? So we see our first pound of candy is equal to 33 cents. We have a second pound of candy for 2 pounds of candy would cost 66 cents, but Jenny only has 50 cents, so that is over her limit. Let's try dividing our second pound of candy into half, meaning that this half a pound of candy would cost 16 cents, making for a total of 49 cents. Therefore, without going over her limit of 50 cents, we know that Jenny can buy 1.5 pounds of candy. Now let's look at this problem using a number sentence. First, we set up our problem, which is 1/2 divided by 1/3. Our next step is to invert and multiply across. So we would switch our 1/3 fraction around into 3 over 1 and multiply. 3 times 1 is 3 and 2 times 1 is 2, resulting in a fraction of 3 over 2. Next, we would transfer our improper fraction into a mixed number, which would be 1.5. Our fourth step would be to write our original problem, which would be 1/2 divided by 1/3 is equal to 1 1/2. Finally, let's look at this problem using pattern blocks. So we know our octagon is equal to 1, our red shape is equal to 1/2, and our triangle is equal to 1/3. So if we look, we can see that 3 green triangles are 3 groups of 1/3 fit into 1/2. Therefore, we know that 3 triangles out of a half would be, our denominator would equal 2, or would also equal to 1 1/2. So that finishes up our lesson today on measurement division. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.